Man, I'm out here today at the Chisholm Trail Outdoor Museum in Cleveland, Texas, just west of the lake, Highway 67. Out here today on July 4th, 2026. Today's a big birthday, 250 years old today, or 250 years of independence. Maybe not all the way independent, but the most independent, I guess. But man, I spent some time out here today. I got a 3 mile walk in or a hike. I like to call it hiking because I put on the hiking shoe and a hiking bag. So my walk is a hike, I guess. But out here, man, we have the Douglas Harmon Chisholm Trail Western Museum. Over here, I have the Big Bear Native American Museum. We have the oldest courthouse still standing in America, built in 1854 by Mr. William O'Neill. All that's here on the site. On the side as well, we have a blacksmith shop. When we are open, they're closed today, as I said, but most weekends are open unless it's just a holiday or bad weather. They'll do the blacksmith classes, cooking classes, events, horseback riding, just all kinds of things. You can visit the website, and I will leave it down in the description. It's the Chisholm Trail Outdoor Museum.com. And I'll also leave my website down there. It's called kingofhabits.com. And what I'm doing is, man, I'm going to be talking about just all kinds of different things, probably mostly geared towards men. I mean, everybody's welcome, women, um, the youth, anybody, because we all have habits. But I'll be talking about that with men. I'm in my 50s, 53, about to be 54 in another few weeks or so. But man, all my life I've had these habits, and it's funny because we all have them. But you look back and you realize that these things were just like a ticker for something that was going on in your head that you didn't know how to navigate or how to put into certain files and deal with whether it's emotional or whatever you're dealing with. But we do things like chew our nails or overeat or different addictions, whether it be alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, shopping, any kind of addiction, porn, just all the different kinds of things that we humans find ourselves doing. So that kingofhabits.com, I haven't been on there much, but I'll be on there more talking about my journey with habits and how I've overcome uh, different things, whether it be addiction or food, which are things that I battle now. Food being my main thing. I've kind of got it to where it's a comfortable day-to-day thing. It wasn't easy. No addiction is. Or getting on the other side. Addiction's easy. Getting on the other side of your being vulnerable and talking about it and sharing yourself with others, finding people that have like interest, those are the hard parts, and it's why we tend to stay locked into our addictions or our just the patterns of our old brain brain patterns and brain ways, and it usually just ends up being a comfortable thing. But our brains are cool, man. They're neuroplasticity is a word I'm sure you've heard of it, but I'll be using it a bunch if I can say it very good. Can't say it very good, but it's just where basically your brain is like plastic and can be remolded, retrained. I heard it described as our addictions are our old ways, or just our brain's like a forest, a thick forest of trees, and the way that we used to be is a path that's already cut. And so when we want to do better or grow, we'll venture back to the old ways because that path is already chopped down and mowed down, and there's no limbs or trees in the way. We can just walk with ease through that old pattern. But the neuroplasticity part is where we have to take the chainsaw and the axe, a lawnmower and a tractor, and chop our way and mow our way and build that new path. And it's uncomfortable and it's a lot of work. But the good news is it can be done. And I know I'm 53, to some that's old, to some it's young, but and I by no means know what I'm talking about in the way of I'm better than you or better than anyone. just hopefully I can find whoever I'm talking to on here, and I'm talking to you, or you wouldn't be here. Um, but just know that you can retrain yourself, and once you battle and get over something, to try to stay on that side of it is important. To That's where your group of peers come in. If you want to quit drinking, that's what the things of like AA or whatever you use, Al-Anon, or you use a program through your church or through your community. That's what those things are designed to do, is put you with people that are like you. Some people have opinions of what works and what don't work, and what's worked for them or haven't. And then we all find our way, and eventually what works. Um, you know, there's those that don't make it out. We battle, and we all have a empathetic heart for that path. But for the most part, we can get through it, and I know that we have it in ourselves, the ability within ourselves and our brain and our soul to get through anything. So my personal journey is I'm one of those that has to go extreme. I can't go on a diet, which I think that's a silly term. I think it's silly. It's just a marketing scheme that keeps us fat. But you can't go on a diet. You're either eating healthy or you're not. And to eat healthy, the ideal is to eat anything with no ingredients, whole foods. So one ingredient, meat is meat, a potato is a potato, that kind of thing. So that's the healthiest thing, the healthiest way to approach it. Um, and then and then too, man, we got to move our bodies. You don't have to do all the things at one time. You don't have to change your whole eating. Buy all these healthy foods and the shakers and the blenders and sign up on the program and the Jenny Craig's. And I'm not knocking any program or Jenny Craig or any of that stuff. That's all great that anybody's involved in that stuff. But you don't have to start there. You have to start up here and and get it right in your head. And I say it all the time to my kids and my friends. YouTube is free college. Anything that you're battling or you're interested in, or you're trying to change, whether it be habits or just ways of life, you can punch that in on YouTube. And if you're not a phone person or an internet person, that's okay too. Maybe you found this video and you can reach out and ask me questions. You can make comments and I'll answer down below in the comment section. It's kind of one of those things where it's ask anything, and I'll try to answer if I know. If I don't, I can find out, because I'm not scared of technology. So in fact, I love it. It's probably one of my faults right now. But man, you just got to start in your mind the want to grow, the want to change, and then you have to apply it. Like, for example, I had to hit play today on this YouTube video. I've been trying to start a video on YouTube and do this thing for years. And I've watched the gurus, I've watched the people that I admire, like, Kevin Colby or Rob the Maritimer, Old Mike. I don't know if you know who Old Mike is on YouTube, but check him out. He's 80 years old. I think he's had another birthday since then, maybe 81. But I know he's 80 for sure. And man, he's got a neat channel. He talks about how to start a channel when you're 80 or when you're older, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. But anyway, just watching these guys do these things, they just push play. They push record. They took time to think of what their niche is, or that's a word that we all wear out, but my niche is I don't have a niche. So I'm going to be finding that out as we go along. Hopefully I'll wind up in a path where it includes wellness and fitness and the history of this museum. And this museum is great. I'll be talking about it a bunch. I'll be sharing some information about it. I do have a Facebook page. I'll share that down below in the description as well. This area was called Wardville, Texas, back in 1855 to 1856. And it's now under our lake here in Cleburne, Texas, which is called Lake Pat Cleburne. So the majority of the frontier is under the lake, under the water. But the little piece of land that is left for Wardville is the grounds here where I'm at the Chisholm Trail Museum. And that's what this is all about. It's about the the historical markers, the history of whether it be, like we have an old tack barn. I mean, just all kinds of the neat things. It's all here on the property. And again, the website is in the description, so be sure and click on that. Subscribe and like this channel, and then also like the Facebook page for the Chisholm Trail Museum. What Mr. Murdoch and Carrie Murdoch have done with this place is it's just so awesome. All the sponsors. I mean, I'll eventually list the sponsors and talk about them, because without that, I mean, these things can't happen. So, but back to the wellness and the health thing. For me, I had to decide to go on this journey of, like I said, I'm extreme. So I had to make this, and I'm wearing the hat. It says Human Plus, and what that is it's right now we're going through a transition in life where people did back in the early 1900s from the buggy and horse, or the mule and buggy, to the car, or from horseback to flying airplanes, or from no cell phones to Apple iPhone and Samsung and all these things. I mean, these drastic changes of going to the moon and the space shuttle and space program and all these huge accomplishments, that frankly this country has provided the planet. Now we're in the biggest thing ever, which is the bad word, AI. I love it, but most people don't. They don't understand it. They're not ready for it. I don't think nobody's ready for it. I think if we were, it would never happen. I mean, it's kind of like this, me pushing record today. I can sit and wait to be ready. I'm never going to be ready, so I just had to freaking hit the button, man. But I love AI, and I love what it does for me. And AI is only as good as what you prompt it to do, or once you learn how to use it. It's not a search engine like Google, which is my favorite search engine. But it's not where you ask it, when you're going out to eat, where a restaurant is, or that kind of thing. I mean, AI is an actual tool, like the automobile when it was invented, or like the airplane, like the space shuttle, like the iPhone, all these big major developments of our time. Now we're getting to see all the benefits from a vehicle. If we would have looked back then, and it was right at the turn of the century when Mercedes-Benz made the first vehicle, or the first motor. I think it was the first vehicle too. Um, if I'm sure back in those times there were people riding horses that said that it would never fly, that would never take off. Having vehicles, it was going to be this new age stuff. It was, I don't know if they used the term back then, but it was kind of like the whole thing. That's what city folks might do, and we're country folks, and we can't. All the stuff that we hear, the stereotypical stuff. If we waited on the naysayers to be right, we would have none of these inventions. We would have the innovation of all these things wouldn't be. And here we are today with automobiles. That's the only way that we have life. Um, I know that we could survive without automobiles, but it would take another whole century to flip that back over. So my point being is, if we'll be open-minded, and I know the data centers and all this stuff is a big topic, and I get it. Um, and I'm open for that discussion as well. You can comment down below about that. But if we'll use AI as a tool, and only use it as a tool, like in consulting, like if we have an issue with a washer or dryer, or a lawnmower and it won't start, or um, your kid's homework, you don't understand whatever, this subject or that subject, or your car's making this noise. It does all, AI has the ability to go search the internet, the whole internet. You don't have to go do Google searches for each thing, and then you read and then Google search that over. AI just goes out and searches the whole internet at once, and brings all that information back to you right in front of your face, to save you the time of search, not because it's fake. Now, do you have to check the research and make sure it's true? Yes, because AI has a tendency to cater to you. You teach it how to treat you, kind of thing. So you do have to watch, you have to make sure that you tell AI to go out on the internet to get facts and then fact check that and then go to places of archives or, any kind of book or anything that has the proof and read to make sure you're falling in the category of honest and factual information. But for the most part, it's a tool. So me personally, I use it as a consultant in health, wellness. I use it to to learn how to do things better as far as like researching my history. I'm going to be writing a book about Wardville, Texas, here in the 29 families that the pioneer families that settled this place. And what it was the first county seat of Johnson County, Texas, which is just south of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's the next county to the south. We border Tarrant County, which is where Fort Worth is, and we border Dallas County. I mean, close to Dallas County, um, which is where Dallas is. We're just about 50 or 60 miles south of Dallas in Cleveland, Texas. But I'll be writing a book about that, and that's what sparked me to put all this stuff together about Wardville and meeting Carrie, and I'll talk about how I met her and all that as the channel goes on. But back to the AI thing, that's what my Human Plus is. It's Human Plus AI and Human Plus nutrition and Human Plus exercise. We are human first. AI will never take over humanity. There will be a need for everything, all things human. What AI will take over are jobs and careers and positions and office titles and things that are busy work for humans. Not that they're not important, but if you take a paralegal, AI is going to do all the paralegal work, and it's going to give that paralegal now the ability to advance themselves up into a different position or a better position, or let them do a more human position, a better, smarter position. We are smarter than AI. AI doesn't have to move, arms and legs and pump a heart and see colors and chew and, digest food and all these things. So our brains do all that and store data, which is the original OG data center. So we have gotten lazy mostly in the ways that we study or learn. So maybe our data center ain't dataing too much. Our brain ain't braining. But man, that's what I'm doing. I'm taking this Human Plus thing, and I made this for myself. I did a 12-month. I'm gonna do a 12-month study where for me, and nobody has to do this. I'm just, like I said, I'm drastic. I'm gonna do a biometrics um, data thing for 12 months on myself where I did DNA through ancestry.com. There's another one, I think it's called 23andMe, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, there's a couple of different things. If you want to get your DNA done, I suggest you do that. I used ancestry.com, and they had a discount at the time I did it. Sorry about the noise. I'm sitting right here by Highway 67 here in Cleveland, by the lake and on the way to Glen Rose, another cool little town. But I used ancestry.com and did my DNA. The results haven't come back yet. So I'll take that. I did my first blood panel. So I got all my numbers, and I track everything. For me, I track everything I eat, and I use an app called MyFitnessPal. I don't recommend that app or recommend any app over any other app. It's just the one that was on my phone. It's the one I use. I don't pay for it. I use the free version. So you got a little spider friend here. You use whichever one that works best for you and your budget. So I track my food through there, and I do that for a couple reasons. The first thing is to make me aware of how much a pain in the rear end it is to eat all the time, and so I can see that at least I ate good food. I can look back at, a month from now or 90 days from now or 6 months from now, and though it's kind of a pain to do all this in the beginning, it becomes a pattern. And like I said, it's a neuroplasticity thing where it's a path it'll become a part of my brain pattern. So it'll become natural. And that's what I'm looking for, is this whole lifestyle thing I'm chasing. I want it to be where I don't even think about it. And eventually I'm going to drop the keep it up with all the foods that I eat. I hope that I keep it at least for 12 months. But once you start eating the same thing every day, which is, my opinion, is the easiest way to stay on track. It's the best way to eat clean. It's the most nutrition, because you know when you go to the store, you don't have to make this big list all the time. You'll eventually get to where it's a habit of no, hamburger meat, or if you're not a meat eater, it's the veggies, or it's the whatever you works best for your body and your program and your wellness journey. But your grocery list to get easier if you eat the same things. You know how to budget your money better, because it's pretty much the same thing. Even though I know the world's crazy with money and economy right now, it's pretty much the same thing week to week on your cost of groceries. And then how you make your food, how you prepare it at home, it gets easy. You know that, I know this gets this much salt and this much real butter. Yes, I use real butter, Kerrygold, or beef tallow, by the way. Um, so all those things of, and yes, it's boring, and it gets where it might feel monotonous, but it ends up being simple. And simple is true freedom while we're here on July 4th. First of all, freedom is knowing you're not free. The second thing is freedom is having another part of freedom is having a routine. And simplicity of a routine is golden. And I have pretty much got a routine down, and it's what's given me the most out of life, more so than being sober, more so than my journey with losing weight, better sleep, all the things. Getting on a schedule and being dedicated to my own schedule has given me a boost of confidence in myself. And when you start trusting yourself and you have your own confidence built in your own circle around yourself, not to be egotistical, but once you put you first and you carry that, that's when you can truly help others. And I, I've already noticed that in the ways, maybe nobody's ever going to come out and say, congratulations on you losing weight, or congratulations on you being sober, or you being a better person, or a better father, or a better mother. Though we want those things are just not going to happen, man. And so the little wins that you can take and give yourself, that's what that app, MyFitnessPal app, does for me. It's the little wins I see. Okay, my calories were this and my protein level was this, and it's the little wins. And I've just been on it for a month. Going into my 5th week is when I started this 12-month project called Human Plus. Um, so the simplicity of the food is the first thing. The kitchen is where you'll lose weight. If you don't get your kitchen in order, meaning your food, of what you buy, what you put in your mouth, how you prep it, how you cook it, you don't have to meal prep and blender all this stuff and all this stuff. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to make 8,400 meals on a Monday so you can eat for a year without having to think. Though it works better, you don't have to do all that. I like buying my food per week and cooking per day or per every other day. I like using an iron skillet, and that's messy. Um, I don't want to eat something I made on Sunday on Thursday. I just don't. I've tried it; it never works out. So I had to quit. I had to quit going that route. Um, so I like cooking daily. I ate a lot of eggs. I ate a lot of red meat. I say a lot. I eat hamburger meat and or steak, um, 3 days a week probably. And then I like chicken. Some people don't. I eat a lot of chicken, um, fish, just rice, and a lot of water. I don't eat it. You drink. I think you do that. Anyway, so I do take a protein supplement, and I was using First Form with Andy Frisella, and which is a fantastic company. Never had any trouble. It's what I've used for the last few years or whatever, as I've been in and out of this journey of weight loss and getting healthier. But man, with me digging into the history of Wardville, and um, just real quick, I'm going to be mixing my hikes, my walking, my wellness, my workouts. I'm going to be mixing it along with the history of Wardville and my hometown of Cleveland, Texas. And I'm going to shop local and try to buy my vegetables and you know, local sourced meats and local sourced honey and local sourced milk and all the things. I'm going to try to start living and loving in my county, and my newfound love of this history of Wardville, Texas has sparked that in me. So being that First Form is in Missouri, the only reason why I'm cutting that out is because I want somebody here in Texas, um, which is my favorite place. It's home. We don't have anywhere Johnson County or Cleveland, Texas locally that does supplements. So I am going to start using Bear um, BPN, and he's out of Round Rock, Texas, I believe, down by Austin. So he is a Texas native guy, Nick Bear. So if you're watching, yeah, I'll take a sponsor, Mr. Nick. Someday, maybe a 53-year-old man, overweight, bad habits, and finally starting to grow up, sponsor. How about that? Anyway, so I'll be using BPN as my supplement, my protein, all the stuff I'll be using for, I do work out 4 days a week, and then I walk every day and hike on Sundays. So I'll be using other supplements through BPN as well. So shout out to them, Texas. So anyway, back to my Human Plus. That's what it's about. It's just Human Plus, all the things it's going to take to make Michael better, um, better at health and wellness, and I think there's plenty of channels and gurus and programs where all the jacked dudes and all the jacked females slinging weights in the gym or running, 10 miles in 30 seconds and all these things. I think there's enough of that out there, and I think there's a place for that, and I think there's people that need that. I don't need that inspiration. Uh, I think there's a niche, maybe this is my niche. I think there's a market and a place for men like myself in their 50s, in their 40s or 30s or whatever, or even older, that that gym life and the slinging the weights and having to eat this and eat that and all this, going to the doctor and just all this stuff and blood work, and it turns most people off. The general public don't want to make time or don't have time, or it's like inviting you to church. Your ears just get turned off right when you hear that phrase. So I'm hoping that if I'm talking to you and you're in your 50s or your 60s or you're younger or older and you want to get off the couch and you want to lose, 5 pounds or 10 pounds or just move your body, man, even if you don't lose weight, we still got to move our body for our, cardiovascular health and just our being outdoors. And that's all my stuff besides my gym workout is outdoors, of course. My walking, I walk every day. I don't care if it's 3 below zero or 103. If it's raining, if it's snowing, I'm going to be walking every day. And I walk from 1 to 3 miles a day. And on Sundays, right now, this will be another part of what I'll be doing, but I'm starting a hiking club. It's going to be called Groundwork Hiking Club. I do have a Facebook page, and eventually I'll have a YouTube channel built towards that. But right now, I'll be sharing this King of Habits channel until I get that ironed out. But man, it's going to be where I invite you. If you're in my county, Johnson County, Texas, or you're in my town, Cleveland, or the surrounding towns, Rio Vista, Joshua, Burleson, Godley, all these places here in Johnson County, and you don't want all that hustle and bustle of eating programs and doctor diets and all this stuff, and you just want to walk with men that have bad habits and don't talk very nice all the time and maybe say cuss words and all this stuff, man, come with me. Let's walk and talk, and let's walk and visit, and let's build relationships through burning fat and losing weight, or maybe we talk about how to cook something, or maybe we talk about a hunting trip or a fishing trip or whatever. But there's gonna be some neat things coming that, I hope eventually that after a hike that we have, maybe someday we'll have a guy that teaches us how to use knives better, or how to start campfires for the men that don't know how to start campfires, or anything. I mean, it's going to grow, and I'm going to be there on Sunday whether you are or not, because I already go every Sunday. So I'm just inviting you um, to come out and join me if that's something you want to do, where there's no pressure. I'm not making any money off this deal. It's just going to be where I mean, right now I'm at the state park, the Cleveland State Park, and the trail is like, there's a 2 mile trail, 3 mile trail, a 4 mile trail. And I always start with a 2 mile trail. And that's where we all want to start. And if you want to walk further by yourself, that's fine too. Or if you want to show up and just meet the group, or meet me, because right now it's 0 guys. So if you show up, it'll be me and you, it'll be 2 guys. So I'm just not growing the thing. It doesn't matter to me if it grows or not. My thing is I'm inviting you, and hopefully my hometown men group, or hometown people that want to change themselves, will start meeting me. And someday I hope to move this hike to the Chisholm Trail Outdoor Museum, and walk the horse trail maybe Sunday morning early, 6 to 8 or whatever. Because she does open at noon on Sunday. So we need to be in here and do our little walk and have our visit and get out of here, and clean up after ourselves and get all the vehicles off the property, all that kind of stuff. But that'll be a conversation for another time. But for right now, it's every Sunday starting tomorrow, July 5th. 7 a.m. is when the Cleveland State Park opens their gates. So it's 7 a.m. Gate opens. 7:15 the walk starts. And I will put which trail down in the description I'll be at tomorrow, and what time, all the times when it starts and stops, all the information, so you don't have to write it down now or remember now. And that'll go every Sunday, rain or shine. It's going to be what my contribution back to losing weight, human plus. So it'd be human plus movement, human plus aerobics, and to give back, because man, I've consumed the Twinkies and the chips and the Taco Bells and all the soft drinks and the whiskey and all the stuff, man. I've consumed it. So I want to give my energy and my sweat back. And in the meantime, I'm getting healthy and will feel better. And when you feel better, you look better. Somebody else might not think you look better, but if you think you do, you do. So that'll be happening. So I'm going to wrap this video. And so today, the topics that I've covered is the Chisholm Trail Museum in Cleveland, Texas, just west of the lake. The website is in the description, so please go visit that. Follow their Facebook page, like that. Like and follow my page, King of Habits, on YouTube. And then my Groundwork Hiking Club is kicking off tomorrow. That will eventually have its own YouTube channel. And I've already got the name reserved and all that good stuff. So it's just a matter of getting videos up and building it. So anyway, with that, man, thank you.